Green geeks and nerds, I'm Lady Universe and I'm white and nerdy, and say, pretty soon it'll be St. Patrick's Day. So I should do something special for the occasion and review something green. And, well, I could choose anything, but, come to think of it, there has been a few things of green-worthy, if that's even a word, that I could really review on this channel, and just in general. I wonder if there's anything remotely green that I have in my collection or got as of recently, that I could do for a review. I'm questioning if there's anything that I can do like that just at the moment.
Monster at Angel Grove Park. They need your help.
Right, I'm on my way. Dragon Sword! I call on the power of the dragon!
Tempting. I could do a review of the entire Green with Evil. Maybe in the future. No, also I'm taking a break from Power Rangers since I did last talk about them not too long ago. So, no. I need something that's green, but also very powerful. I need something that can withhold, I guess, the certain green power. What's green and very powerful that I can use in this regard? What can I really use? Something green and powerful? Okay. Well, yes, the Hulk. But not my favorite and not everybody else's favorite. Hulk smashing good timer. Nope, instead we're going to talk about an even more popular series, but maybe in the future I'll review the Hulk animated series. Because at least I have a DVD in my collection. No, instead... we're instead going to talk about the Jade Gigantes She-Hulk. Now, I gotta say, though, that I only heard of She-Hulk through the animated series and also, the live-action series, and I was never a fan of She-Hulk, but I had some friends that really said that, she was one of the best Marvel characters and Marvel superheroines ever created. So when I saw this in my bookstore, I was very impressed to see what would go on in it. Even though, that at the time, when I was a kid, I knew nothing about the Jade Gigantes. For those of you that don't know, Jen Walters, or Jennifer Jen Walters, is the cousin of Bruce Banner. She got into a car accident and needed a blood transfusion. Unfortunately for her, the only person that was able to give her blood was her cousin, David. David gave her the blood transplant, which unfortunately turned her into the Savage She-Hulk. She-Hulk eventually, throughout her years, would later on become smarter and basically share the same body instead of being savage like the Incredible Hulk. So we're taking a look at She-Hulk Gen of Hearts Volume 2. Why not Volume 1? Couldn't find it. But we're just going to take a look at the second volume, and don't worry if people are confused, because just like Stan Lee had once said, everyone's comic book is their first comic book. So things kind of get summarized pretty quickly for us, the audience. As such, let's dig into She-Hulk Gen of Hearts Volume 2 and see exactly how the She-Hulk television series should have been compared to what it was. Our cover isn't too bad. It's a still shot of Jen Walters and her alter ego, She-Hulk, so hey, I actually like it. This is also written by Rainbow Rowell, who I believe has a very famous time at Marvel writing for She-Hulk and also, I believe, Ms. Marvel. But anyways, bright orange background with two main characters on it. Kinda boring, but it gets the point across pretty well. Anyhow, our story begins with She-Hulk at a cheesecake factory in a beautiful dress. and despite of her outer appearance, isn't She-Hulk accepting that for who she is. She is now a Jade Gigantress, and she's in love with She-Hulk, the She-Hulk side of herself. Even though all these people are thinking, Christ, what the hell is going on with this woman? And we get a caption box here. Jennifer Walters, She-Hulk, everybody's favorite gamma-irradiated gal. Yeah, her cousin is not as famous as she is. As she's meeting up with a friend, Patsy Walker, aka the Hellcat, as Patsy hands her over a file that she'll be using in court, which unfortunately for her, she's going to court against Doctor Doom, of all things. Well, there's a bigger storyline than that here and there, but it's nice to see Jen Walters just go out and even hang out with a fellow superhero, even if it is Patsy Walker. And when she gets into her office, she's met by Mallory Reed and Awesome Andy, who talks using a chalkboard, which is pretty funny. As Jen is being told by Mallory that she has a special guest, and the guest is Nightcrawler, the fellow X-Men. Yeah, it's my favorite X-Men in case people are wondering, as Nightcrawler tells her that he'll be going to court as well, and Jen tells him everything that he'll be needing in his case. And yeah, he even says that he wishes that he could have used this against Mr. Sinister. Why is Nightcrawler going to court? For his own reasons. But we get to see that Jen's life isn't that easy, even though she is a successful lawyer, and she's yelled at by Mallory, and especially about the court case, which if she so happens to lose, everything will crumble down on top of her. And he basically tells her not to worry, but yeah. Basically, I think that this comic issue is trying to portray Mallory Rory as being She-Hulk's adversary or enemy, but that's just me. Anyway, She-Hulk and Andy go clubbing? Dancing? I don't know, but it's nice to see her accepting otherwise. And we get to see her go and talk to somebody else, Jack of Hearts, a Marvel character that I know nothing about, but it does exist in the Marvel Universe, as him and She-Hulk just begin to flirt. And my, look at that face, you know that she wants his heart. So anyway, she offers him on a date to come over to her place and discuss the whole entire court case. And while over at her place, they're mostly discussing the court case, how things will go, what Jack should do, how he should associate, and they even talk about Jack's powers being gone for a short time. It's a nice little honorable nod that should have been in the She-Hulk series, but honestly and obviously it was missing from the series. But then it turns out that the two of them share memories because She-Hulk had been on a lot of different teams and yeah, she'd been on the Avengers, Fantastic Four, you name it, she'd been there. And the two of them, as you would expect, share a romantic moment. And thus the two of them begin their makeout session. This was something that really should have been in the She-Hulk series. Jen Walters meeting another superhero, or a superhero making a cameo in her universe, or in the series, one that they could get. Like, for example, Brie Larson as Captain Marvel, or even Tom Holland as Spider-Man, Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange, even Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, anything that would have made a cameo great, and you could have had that superhero going up against Jen Walters. It was nice that they had Daredevil be involved in the series, that was cool, but then they later on just kind of like dropped the ball with him in a sense. So this is what would have made the series great. Have Jen Walters deal with drama in the courtroom as well as drama at home. This was something that the series missed. The only drama that she had in the business was that She-Hulk was bad for business and Jen Walters was basically good for business. So her being She-Hulk compared to Jen Walters had a bunch of drama going on in that business. No, I didn't watch She-Hulk. I watched reviews of She-Hulk, like Black Nerd Comedy and 3C Films. So, again, yeah, it was just great to have if that was the series. And in my regard, the only She-Hulk thing that happened in that series was her always breaking the fourth wall, which is something that She-Hulk is known for doing. And very similar to She-Hulk, it had She-Hulk getting with a guy that most men are kind of being a little jealous and greening the gills that they cannot get with the Jade Gigantress. I am one of them, as even I can admit that even though she's a comic book character, that yeah, She-Hulk is not exactly that bad looking for a comic book character. And yes, as you'd expect, even though that we're away from the comic book, yes, the two of them slept together. So anyways, after that touching moment has happened, we end up going back to court as she walks back into the room and find Dr. Doom standing there. Well, okay, there's actually a long story for this. It's not just Dr. Doom, as we are told by Victor Mancha, a crossover with the Runaways, that this is a Doombot that's going to court for Dr. Doom. Mostly the Doombot dialogue just consists of, "Yes, I am Doom! I am Doom!" And Jen Walters very concerned that if Dr. Doom does not show up in court instead of the Doombot, that her career will be flushed down the toilet. And unfortunately for her, it looks like that Dr. Doom and the Doombot and Victor might take the court case. So, yikes. That's not the worst part of it. After talking with Dr. Doom and Victor Mancha, she goes to the house of a woman named April, where she discovers that her husband, Mark, looks like the Incredible Hulk, which shouldn't be possible. So as you'd expect, yep, these are our two main enemies in this series. But why are they the enemies, and why are they obsessed with the Incredible Hulk? Well, the good thing is this comic tells us about why they're so obsessed with She-Hulk and also the Incredible Hulk. Meet Mark and April Booth, scientists that are obsessed with, getting everything done. The two love each other, as you can tell, and as you can imagine, they both basically sort of obsessed with one another. But what's unfortunate is that they're obsessed with science things happening, such as the origin of Spider-Man, the origin of Daredevil, and the origin of Wolverine. But the one that got them the most was the origin of the Incredible Hulk, aka Dr. Bruce Banner. The two become obsessed with trying to recreate the Hulk's experiment, becoming so undeniably obsessed that they start going after the Hulk's other characters, such as Artemis Chow, A-Bomb, the leader, Dr. Samson, the Red Hulk, and the Abomination, and everyone else that the Hulk has known, and even saying that they follow everything with the Hulk, and becoming more curious about Jen Walters, since her experiment as the Hulk turned out better than Bruce Banner's experiment. If you know the Incredible Hulk at all, you know that the Hulk does not want to be the Hulk. Bruce Banner wants to be cured of this monster that he is accidentally bonded with after his origin. All Dr. Banner wants is basically a normal life, but a normal life he can never have. A normal life he can never get used to because he's unfortunately entrapped by a monster. But it was a sad and unfortunate experience that happened to Dr. Banner that ended up turning him into the Hulk. But unfortunately, there was a bunch of people in the Hulk's arsenal that's upset with the monster. It's nice to see that is a nod that they put in this book. Even I was kind of impressed that they were like, hey, you know the Incredible Hulk, that weird ancient monster that people are obsessed with? Let's have a couple be obsessed with everyone that has the Hulk's abilities or is related to the Hulk. And it's really bad that because you know that the Hulk is an uncontrollable beast of rage and destruction, that every time he gets angry, the monster is unleashed and cannot be tamed for the life of him. So this couple basically wanting to get everybody in the Hulk's library, or even his family, co-workers, whatever, his Agents of Smash. Anybody remember that weird animated series, Hulk's Agents of Smash? Had She-Hulk, the Incredible Hulk, Scar, A-Bomb, General Ross, had the Red Hulk, no. Damn, I'm a nerd. But it was still nice as a nod to see that, and it really goes to show you like how much of a dangerous threat that this Booth couple, April and Mark Booth, had basically became in the Marvel Universe, and that this small impact can later on become even a bigger impact, especially what happened later in the comic issue. As this couple decides to try a gamma blood transfusion that would happen to She-Hulk. And it turns out that it worked and gave the two of them superpowers. They were basically Hulk-like abilities. Unfortunately, it also turned them savage. So much to the point that Mark cannot control the savage Hulk that is inside of him. Yeah, we are scientists, but we still cannot control the science behind the Incredible Hulk. So good job on the couple for doing that. Eventually, the couple got Mark Hulk, whatever, his savagery down. And oh my god, why does April have a big head? I think it's because she's trying to turn into the leader. Well, never mind. Anyway, they tell She-Hulk that basically they need her blood because that's the tap unto becoming savage and smart, unlike her cousin who is mostly savage. So she's gonna make Mark into basically She-Hulk, a smart but also savage Incredible Hulk. Jen, on the other hand, does not like this, and neither does Jack of Hearts, as Jack comes in and tries to save She-Hulk, but She-Hulk saves herself because she can do that. But it turns out that everything starts going to shit, such as Mark and April suddenly become this Hulk blaster monstrosity that goes after She-Hulk, and unfortunately Jack of Hearts basically sacrifices himself for the greater good of She-Hulk. She-Hulk does not take this well, apparently, starting to yell at the audience. And yes, even starts ripping apart her own comic book, and basically telling them, "You think I can follow a goddamn narration after all this time?" She even kind of called us out for being there the entire time, like when she gets dressed, when she's in the shower. So this is a nice little funny moment that ends up happening, that she ends up calling out the comic book readers. Funny stuff. So She-Hulk ends up getting the entire book, or comic, changed by this point. Even the art kind of changes a little bit, which is also a nice touch. As yes, she takes away the Hulk gamma radiation, Jack of Hearts absorbs gamma radiation, I think, and the two of them decide to go back home and try to live with one another, even that Jack had gotten back superpowers because, as you remember, he lost them somehow. I even like the nod toward the end of this that She-Hulk goes back to her superhero on duty, teaming up with the X-Men and the Inhumans and even the Avengers, and that, yeah, she's broken because she lost somebody that she really cared about. Even when she talked to Patsy Walker about an ex-enemy of the Avengers, she at first is against Jen, but then later on understands that Jen has met someone that basically she can sympathize with, and that compared to her husband that she was supposed to marry at the beginning of Savage She-Hulk, yeah, this is probably her better choice. And as you'd expect, She-Hulk then indeed goes to court. She ends up winning her court case, taking Dr. Doom down because she's that awesome, and ends up basically celebrating to the point that Jack of Hearts ends up coming back to her in this brand new spiffy outfit that he got from the 80s, I bet. As the two of them reconnect over what happened, and Jack apologizes for leaving She-Hulk. So the two of them basically talk about basically being together, and that the two of them are now and from now on will be a couple in this comic issue, thus ending our issue with the to be continued of the two of them trying to remain a couple. And so, that was She-Hulk, Jen of Hearts. To be honest, I really did like it. The art was fantastic, and I even liked the little nod that it changed later when She-Hulk decided to rewrite her own story, and it's a great touch of what could have been the She-Hulk Netflix series or Disney Plus series that, unfortunately, that's not what it became. I like the way that Rainbow wrote She-Hulk, very colorful and has a very good personality, even more so that she might be a monster, but she still has a heart of gold on the inside of her. And especially with a name like Rainbow Russell, yeah, she gave She-Hulk the most colorful personality that I can intend to. So, if you're looking for something green to check out for this St. Patrick's Day, read She-Hulk Jen of Hearts. It's a really damn good read, and especially since I only have Volume 2, it still was impressive. Maybe if I ever find Volume 1 at some point, I will review it as well too. But as it stands, this is one of the best She-Hulk stories that I ever read, and even making me sympathize with She-Hulk, and I'm a 29-year-old fucking nerd on the YouTube that makes YouTube videos about geeky and nerdy things. She made me relate to her. So anyways, happy St. Patrick's Day to all of you guys. I've been leading the votes. I've been waiting nerdy. Keep your on and let me know if you have a favorite She-Hulk storyline, like who it's written by, or if you have a favorite Hulk storyline that's been written, like World War Hulk, Planet Hulk, anything like that. Anything Hulk related, let me know. And let me know who your favorite Hulk is or Hulk related character is in the comments down below. I'd be very interested to checking out how many people appreciate our gamma irradiated superhero. So, happy St. Patrick's Day. Brought to you by Mountain Dew Zero Sugar. This is not sponsored by this video. Well, if I turn green in the next video, you know what happened. But I've been Oasis Universe, I've been White and Nerdy, keep eking on, and until next time, guys, take care, and happy St. Patrick's Day.